Okay, so next let's look at JSON data types. So there are 6 data types that's available in JSON, which means anything that you write in JSON, that value that you write for a key should be of these 6 types. You cannot write anything apart from the 6 type. You cannot define your custom type and use it. You have to follow the 6 types to define it. So let me show you one by one what are these types. The first one is number. So I have used a simple file with .json extension. You can even do this to start writing a JSON, and then I'll use some of the syntaxes that I've shown you previously, and I'll try to repeat it here with the syntax, and then we'll try to write a simple JSON file using all this using all these data types. Okay, so the first syntax rule is you open a curly brace and close a curly brace, and then you basically define a key. So let's say I'm defining a number, right? And the intention of writing this is basically, we want to define a product by using all the data type that's available in the JSON. Okay, so let's say I'm defining a product ID with a key within double quotes, and then I'm separating the value with a semicolon, and this time I'm defining a number, so I will use a number. Okay, now you can use colon to separate a new key pair value. Okay, next is a string. String is simple, right? So you can say a name, product name, right? And then you use double quotes to represent a string. Then I use comma to separate another line or another key pair value. Okay, next define a boolean. So this time the key pair value, if you're defining a boolean, don't make this mistake, right? Don't say is available like this and say true, right? Even though left hand side is okay to write data without the double quotes, but on the key you need to have double quotes. Okay, and then true or false is basically a boolean value that you can use. That string true or false false, you can use it as a text without double quotes. Then you use comma. Okay, next is null, right? Then you define, let's say, a model, colon, and I don't know what is a model, so I say null. I don't know the value. It means an empty tag or empty field value. Next is an array. Okay, we know array we define with a square brackets, so you can say colors of the phone, use semicolon, then you can define the colors. Okay, next is the objects, right? So how you define an object? You need to have a key value pair, right? So key is a name, colon, then you have an object like key and an array. You have a key, then you have a semicolon and an array. Similarly, you have a key, semicolon, and something with a flower brackets, right? So define a comma here, then let's say released in, right? So I say Singapore, I can say true, that's boolean. True, false. Okay, so this is basically an object notation, right? This is one data type, object data type. This is another array data type. This is a keyword null to represent no value. True is true or false. Okay, you can even write false as we have written false here down, right? And to represent boolean value, anything that you write in double quotes is a string value. Number is represented with a number. And one more thing you can do is you can use decimal points also. Okay, so even decimal points are called as numbers. So it's very simple to work around with JSON, and these are the 6 data types that you use in JSON.